welcome back to the channel. What you just saw is some of the things that you can find at a local candy store that we have up in Sonora called the Candy Vault. Now this lovely little shop has been around for about 15 years, and when I was still eating candy, I actually went there once in a while, but I don't eat candy anymore. What I will do is a candy themed puzzle. I got this one at the failed yard sale, and this one is from White Mountain, which you know I love White Mountain, and it's just called Old Candy Store. I am going to have so much fun with this one. It's summertime. It's a great time to be thinking about things like frozen stuff, ice cream, and things like that. So I'll be thinking about those things and hopefully not be tempted to eat any of them. Anyway, let's have a look at the puzzle. So here we go. Oh goodness, I am so looking forward to this one. Look at the picture. Look at this. Peter's milk chocolate. Taste the fruit. Corn flakes, Quaker oats. They got all the big names in here. They got some candy here. Look at that. Look at this doggy. He's so cute. All these jars over here. Look at these gigantic lollipops. These big suckers. Look at that dog out there. And here comes somebody else with their dog. You know, when I was a kid, dogs were never allowed into stores where there was anything to eat. But now you see it all the time. Okay, so when I opened this box right after I brought it home, the pieces were not in a bag. So that always makes me nervous when I'm working on a puzzle streak to see if I can keep my puzzle streak. I can't have any missing pieces. And the box was open. The puzzle pieces were loose in the box. So who knows? But I don't care. I'm going to enjoy it anyway, even if my puzzle streak ends with this one. I'm going to go ahead and get it all dumped out and start sorting it and figure out exactly how I want to sort it. There's no poster. White Mountain oftentimes will have posters, but there's no poster in this one. So I'm just going to look at the box and figure out ways to sort it. It could just turn into one big picking place. Anyway, here we go. Really didn't do much sorting. This, I think, is the floor, the dog, and at least the clothing of some of the people and their heads. And I have that dog in there too. But that's really, and then of course, that right there, that's all I sorted, the edge pieces here. So I don't know, this may have to just work as a pick and place, because I'm not sure. If it were a 500 piece puzzle, there'd probably be a lot more detail in each piece, but these pieces The ones that had the detail, you know, little tiny print on them, those are pretty easy, but a lot of them kind of look like this. I mean, what the heck is that? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at that for a little bit and figure out what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the edge pieces and put the frame together. And as usual, especially on a 1000, this is important to do on a 1000, is to do the top as much as I can. So after I get the top part put together, I'm going to be looking for everything that's up in this part of the puzzle to fill in. I'm finding this puzzle pretty interesting, fun to work on. I'm enjoying it. You know, once you sort out some things that you see, you can start basically putting things where they go. Probably work over on this side. Working on this side is hard just because of the glare from the lights. So that's why I've been mostly over here. And this is just barely on the edge of the glare, but I need to get more of this stuff done over here and try and figure out more of this up here. Try and finish that shelf there. Then I'll be done with the top and I can move on. If I didn't have to just, you know, work on it from top to bottom, just because I can't see very well, then I could probably do it a little easier, a little quicker, but I'm not in any hurry. I mean, what's the hurry? This is supposed to be for fun, and this is what I'm doing. I am having fun, and I'm liking this puzzle. And I'm just hoping there's no missing pieces. I've got most of the top done. I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes and pick through the box a little bit just to see if I spot anything else that I can put in, like this one. I want to be able to figure out where this goes. That is just, there we go. I'm getting tired and I'm getting hungry, so I want to take a break. So I'm going to take a break. This is how much I have done so far. And well, if I feel up to it, I'll work on it some more later. Otherwise, I'll have to wait till tomorrow. I'm very suspicious of this edge piece. I didn't see it anywhere. So this edge piece might be missing. And that would be unfortunate. Well, I didn't get back to the puzzle yesterday, so today's a new day. I was really tired last night. I hadn't been getting good sleep lately, so it kind of caught up with me, I think. Plus all the weed whacking I've had to do lately. Anyway, I'm pretty alert and awake now, and hopefully I can finish this puzzle today. I'm having fun with it. I'm really liking this puzzle a lot. I will be very disappointed if that edge piece is actually missing. But I won't know until I'm done and get a chance to look around on the floor and make sure that I've got all the pieces that came with the box. Anyway, let's get back to it. Big sigh of relief. I found that edge piece. Yay. So hopefully there are no missing pieces. Not much left. This brown jacket, I kind of played with that a little, and that's tough. And then we just have over here basically just the floor with the girl's feet, a little bit of the side of that. That's all that's left. However, I am really tired and I need to take a break. I am not sure I'm going to feel like working on it later though. So this might be all I do today, and I'll finish it up tomorrow, which it won't take very long. Okay, well, yesterday was Saturday and I was a little too busy to work on the puzzle. I had too many other things that needed to be done. So I'm getting back to it today finally. And oh, I think I'm going to finish it up here pretty quickly. So I have all this floor. I'll pull all those out, and then I have some more countertop here. I should be able to find those if I just pick through here. Here's another piece of countertop. I have all of this brown jacket to do. Look at this. This is yellow on it. There we go. But if there was one criticism, the only criticism I really have is this display case of candies. I mean, if you look, it's almost like some other artist worked on this, on that part. If you look at the detail in this boy's hair, if you look at the detail in the dog's face, if you look at the detail in all of these candy bars in this case here, and then we have these jars that all have labels with writing on them. Then you come down here to this display case and it's just, what the heck is it? I can't tell. There's no detail. It's just colors. thrown together. And if I were to guess, I'd say it's a ton of saltwater taffy, but I can't tell. There's just no detail in here at all. It's just a bunch of colors. They even put in what looks like some words here that might be faded out over time or something. I don't know what's going on with that. But it just seems so odd to me that they would put in this much detail all over this picture, especially out the door. Look at that house outside there with the tree in front. Why would you put all of that detail in this image and then make this display case just a blur? Maybe the artist had a really good reason for doing it that way. I couldn't guess. It's incongruous. So I don't understand it. I like the fact that these pieces are big enough that each piece contains quite a bit of detail. So with all the detail that you can see in each piece, that means it makes even less sense why you wouldn't put more detail into this display case. All right, this is a tricky one. Where does this guy go? Down here. Kids today, they wouldn't hardly know anything about something like this if it weren't for the few candy shops that still exist. We have one in Sonora. We have a very famous old candy shop. Whenever people come from out of town, and it's that time of year when people are going to be coming in from out of town, it gets very busy at that old candy shop. It's a very popular place for the tourists. And I imagine that there just aren't that many candy shops left. There used to be this great candy shop in Campbell, California. They had really good saltwater taffy there and a lot of unusual candy that you couldn't find anyplace else. This looks like doggy here. There we go. This looks like doggy too. But I do remember some of the vacation trips that we went on when I was a kid. We'd sometimes run across a candy store. And even if we didn't buy any candy, because my mom didn't want us to eat a bunch of sugar either, even if we didn't buy any candy, we always like to go in there and look around. Trying a little bit of shape work there. Now that I have removed all of the other pieces from contention here. It's a lot easier to find the ones for the brown jacket. You can see small gradations of color in the jacket, so it makes it a little easier than when I had to sort through a ton of different pieces. And I'm so familiar with the White Mountain piece shapes, and I'm sure that helps. Okay, now let's see if we can figure out if this piece is actually missing. It's around here somewhere. Well, one thing that I will do, well, often do, if I have a whole bunch of puzzles that showed up at the same time, like I did with this group, and there's a piece or two missing, I don't automatically just mark it as missing, stick it in the donation bin, or whatever. I don't give up on it that easy. I'll keep this puzzle for now. And see if that missing piece turns up someplace else. It could have landed in another box, as we saw with the book puzzle. It had a little buffalo piece in there. All right, I don't see it anywhere. I'm going to give up on it. And so for now, I have to say, my thrifted puzzle streak has ended. We'll start over again, unless I happen to find this piece and can pull out a Hail Mary on it. Anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm sorry there's a piece missing. I hope it turns up. If it doesn't, it'll still get donated, but just with a note that there's a piece missing. You know, it's just a little surprising that a White Mountain puzzle would have a piece missing, because these puzzles do not come apart easy. Looky what I found. It was on the floor. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. Maybe the leprechauns took it and then brought it back again. So, I am redeemed. This puzzle has all of its pieces and is complete. My streak continues. This was number 10. Wasn't that just the tastiest puzzle? Oh my goodness, so tempting. And you know, today is the first day of summer, and it's also National Milkshake Day. And well, I couldn't resist. I made myself some milkshakes. I have this one here, which is a vanilla shake made only with goat milk, ice, and a dash of my brother's homemade vanilla. And then I have this one. This one is just goat milk, ice, and coffee. It tastes like a refreshing iced coffee milkshake, but with no sugar, so it's still pretty good. That's really good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a great summer. And let me know in the comments if you have a favorite candy that you like. You know, I used to love Reese's when I was a kid, and now I can't stand them. But I remember when I was young and I had a goal of turning 18 and having a job so I could buy and eat an entire bag of mini Reese's cups. But now I'm all grown up and I prefer a coffee milkshake with no sugar. So please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Anyway, enjoy your sweet treats and enjoy your life.